We'll see what happens here. All right, we have. I think we've gone live. It is Late Night America on the American Doofus channel, and 5 minutes after midnight. It is officially the 7th day of October here on the eastern part of the country. 12:05 a.m. Eastern. That means it's 11:05 Central, 10:05 Mountain, and 9:05 in the Pacific. Thank you all very much for clicking on and joining Late Night America. Hi, GA from CIA. Hi, Donna. Hi, Bunny. Fred, how are you? Lotus Bunny, Proud Army Girlfriend. Okay, you're here. All right. We're going to hear from PAGF. Proud Army Girlfriend is going to come up and talk with us about something incredibly important to her, and something she's passionate about, and something that, well, quite frankly, we can't talk enough about. So, hello, Freedom Fighter. Hi, Cunning Stunt. Hi, Lori Arnold. Hi, Von Michelle. Good to see everybody here, and thank you all for clicking on. And let's get started as we always do. I'm a little late because I switched over to StreamYard, and I'm hoping it will be better. I'm hoping it will be better for reception with guests, and it's a little bit different than I was using. There we go. All right. Take a look at breaking news, as we always do to start things out, or as we usually do to start things out. Biden pardons thousands for simple possession of marijuana. That comes from AP News, and that is the Associated Press News, not Anarchy Princess. Biden pardons thousands for simple possession of marijuana. ABC News has 2 dead, 3 in critical condition from stabbings outside a Las Vegas casino. Nebraska Republican Ben Sasse to resign his Senate seat to become a university president. Maybe he's getting out. It depends how things play out. He could be getting out at an opportune time for him. Since he is resigning, his seat will be filled by the Nebraska Republican Party. Washington Post, GOP, the grand old party, that's what the Republicans call themselves, and the media calls them as well. GOP crisis in Herschel Walker race was nearly 2 years in the making. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. Justice Department is said to believe Trump has more documents. Again, we talked about the rumblings being that the communications between former President Trump and the leader of North Korea are missing. And Justice Department is said to believe Trump has more documents. So we'll see how that plays out. And CBS News, FBI sends Hunter Biden tax and gun purchase evidence to U.S. attorney. So something may be finally coming down as far as all the Hunter Biden talk. We'll see how all of that plays out. Now, I'm going to hop over to some stories that didn't make that list, and we're going to start out with one from Dearborn, Michigan, from earlier today. Dearborn, Michigan, shooting suspect surrenders at the Dearborn Hampton Inn. One person was killed. There was a active shooter situation for quite some time earlier today, and police negotiators eventually were able to talk the person into surrendering, but not before at least one was killed, another was injured, and just a reminder that no matter where we're at or what we're doing, craziness can always break out. And we always have to be aware. Be aware of our surroundings, be aware of situational awareness. Be aware of entrances and exits, and you just, unfortunately, we live in those kind of times, and it's sad, but that's where we're at. The last episode, I said that there was social media going around that, about how ill prepared these people that are being drafted into the Russian army are actually going to be. And I got some blowback that, that it was fake news, all that kind of stuff. Well, this is actually that video, and it's actually on mainstream media now, some 3 or 4 days after we talked about
Stanley
it.
Tucci is back in Italy.
And of course, it's going to have a commercial. I checked it right before we came on and played through the commercial, so hang on for a second here. Let me get through this 5 or 6 seconds, and we will reload and take a look at what these people being drafted are actually being told. Let me cue it up. Again, thank you all for watching. We got a lot of stuff tonight, and Proud Army Girlfriend's going to be on later. We may have a couple of other guests. I don't know just yet, but I will say Telescope's going to be on later on next week. We're going to have Telescope back on, and we've got some things to talk about. So look forward to that. Okay, here we go.
Is military, once feared, now mocked. No laughing, the officer says to her recruits. Ask your wives, girlfriends, mothers for period pads and tampons. Do you know what tampons are for? You stick it in a bullet wound, she says, it swells and closes the wound. Bring your own sleeping bag too, the men are told. On television, the hundreds of thousands being mobilized by President Putin are well equipped. In reality, their videos on social media tell a different tale. We were officially told that there would be no training before being sent to the combat zone, this recruit says. We had no shooting, no tactical training, no theoretical training, nothing. Another officer addresses his recruits. If you have hernias, plates in your head, I was told you're fit for mobilization, he says, so stop saying you can't. I live on pills, so if I go, you'll be doing your tasks like everyone else.
Okay, just a little something in there. There's a lot more to that video, actually, but they are indeed telling their soldiers that are being drafted to bring tampons, bring their own sleeping bags, and as I said the other night, that's not really great for morale. And as we have seen in repeated episodes, people are just pouring out of the border, fleeing the country. Okay, this is some video also from CNN. This is ex-Defense Secretary Mark Esper. He was former President Trump's Secretary of Defense, and he says in the unlikely event that Putin does resort to nukes, and I don't think it's unlikely at all personally, but I do appreciate hearing from him that he believes it to be unlikely. He could use this weapon. Putin could use this weapon. So again, it's one thing to hear me say it. It's another thing to hear former President Trump's defense secretary say it.
The rhetoric that we're hearing from Vladimir Putin is very alarming. Mm-hmm. He's talking a lot more about nuclear weapons, and it seems more likely than ever he might consider doing that. But I wonder, how likely do you think that is? Do you think he really would do it?
We don't know. I think it's unlikely, but possible. And I think the more that the Ukrainians continue to seize ground in the east, And in the South, I think the more desperate Putin becomes. I mean, look, this has been a strategic failure in multiple ways since it began in February. And now, finally, the Russian people are speaking up. You have protests going on throughout the country. Hundreds of thousands of Russians have left Russia to avoid this draft. I think Putin continues to paint himself in a corner without any, and limiting his options to get out of this mess he's created.
And obviously, we're trying to get a sense of, well, what would that look like if he did that? We were speaking to nuclear expert Joe Cirincione yesterday, who wrote this great piece in the Washington Post about what Putin's options would be. And the most likely of the four scenarios would be, in his opinion, a low-yield nuclear weapon that would be used on a Ukrainian military target. We're talking about something about in the range of 10 kilotons of TNT, the equivalent of, just for reference, Hiroshima was 15 kilotons. So this is pretty big. Do you think that's correct? Is that, you think, his most likely avenue?
I think anywhere between 1 to 10 kilotons. You're right, Hiroshima was 15 kilotons, killed 70,000 people, destroyed 5 square miles of territory around the city. And I think the way he would deliver it, most likely in these cases, is through a gravity bomb delivered by an aircraft or some type of Iskander cruise missile. I would argue the thing for the administration to do is to bring the allies together now, talk about back channeling to Moscow, but publicly say, look, if we see some type of strategic indication that you're pulling tactical nuclear weapons out of the storage areas, we're going to put an air cap up above Ukraine, and we're going to shoot down anything that comes toward Ukraine that might be carrying a nuclear weapon. There are things like that we could do to prevent this, to kind of calm this down and keep Putin contained.
So I hope he's right.
Meanwhile,
I hope he's right. I hope there are things that can calm this down and keep Putin contained. One thing he did mention that I want to point out is that most of, if not almost all, of the Russian tactical nuclear weapons are in storage. And while the bigger weapons are always ready to go, there would be a sign that tactical weapons were possibly being used. That's why the other night when we said there's a convoy and who it was detached to, that, you know, there's concern that there really are tactical nuclear weapons heading towards the Ukrainian border. So these are things we just got to be aware of. I mean, there's not a whole lot we're going to be able to do about any of it except understand what's happening if and when something does happen. Let me go to this real quick. By the way, the current president of the United States, Joe Biden, said earlier tonight that not since the Cuban Missile Crisis have we been this close to a possible nuclear Armageddon. So I don't know, honestly, whether there's a whole lot of hype going on and there's not really anything to this, or if there is, if this really is something as significant as the Cuban Missile Crisis was. I got some more things to show you, and again, give you to, get things for us to think about. This is one here. I mentioned the Herschel Walker in the breaking news. Herschel Walker running for Senate in Georgia. One Georgia Republican consultant said, "I'm going to vote for Herschel Walker. I don't care if he performed an abortion himself." Which I only point this out because hasn't it always been about abortion? And now they don't care about abortion. It's all about electing somebody that's just going to do whatever he's told to do because that was the deal. It's wrong. I don't care what party it is. If you don't think somebody is qualified to serve in an incredibly high office, no matter what party, don't vote for him. That's just, that's just, and don't get me wrong, I know a bunch of you are out there going, F you or whatever. I understand. Our country is divided politically. There's 30% that are going to vote Republicans no matter what, 30% that are going to vote Democrats no matter what, and that makes 60%. Well, there's actually 40% of us in the middle that don't really have a voice and don't have anybody stepping up to be a leader and give us a voice. And we're the actual silent majority in this case, because there's 40% of us at least. Anyway, that's the wrong soapbox. I didn't mean to get on that soapbox at that moment, but I did. And apologies. So let me run through these real quick. While the major strategic weapons can be launched within minutes, an order being given, not the case for the tactical weapons. Again, I just want to reemphasize that we will probably have and may already have an indication that they have taken these smaller, yet, I say smaller, but you heard smaller means the size of Hiroshima. 70,000 people, boom, evaporated. 5 square miles incinerated. And that's a small nuclear weapon now. And start lobbing these things back and forth. Countries start doing that. It's not good for any of us. And I want to get this out. Fill up your gas tanks. Of course, tomorrow's Friday. Gas always goes up on the weekend. But if you can get out, even if you're here in the East Coast or eastern part of the country, and you can get out and fill up your gas tank, because tomorrow gas always goes up on the weekend a couple of cents. Well, don't be surprised if you don't see like a 20 cent, 25, 30 cent shoot up in price of gas, because Iraq oil minister says oil production surplus is reason behind the OPEC's decision to cut production. OPEC announced yesterday that's the oil producing countries of the Middle East, the major oil producer, one of, if not the major oil producing organizations in the world, that they are cutting back on production. Now, cutting back on production means supplies are going to dwindle, and as supply goes down, demand stays the same, cost goes up. As supply goes down, if demand goes up, costs are going to go up. So there's going to be a lot of demand for this oil that OPEC is going to be sitting on, and plus OPEC has a pretty strong agreement with Russia in regards to what's going to happen oil-wise, and that's kind of a sword of Damocles over the United States. And don't be surprised if you don't hear that being talked about in the coming days on mainstream media. Also, something else the mainstream media is not telling us. Last night, North Korea conducted another ballistic test, launching 2 more missiles. These 2 went into the Sea of Japan, and that's 2 days after they fired the ballistic missile over Japan. In response, USS Ronald Reagan Carrier Strike Group, also 2 Japanese Navy destroyers and 1 South Korean destroyer, arrived yesterday in the Sea of Japan, and they're going to conduct ballistic missile defense exercises. Basically saying, you're not going to keep doing this. We're going to start shooting them down, and then we're going to start shooting at you. And again, all of these things going on. I forgot that I had that in the breaking news. Biden pardons thousands of people convicted of marijuana possession. His quote is, Sending people to jail for possessing marijuana has upended too many lives. For conduct that is legal in many states, that's before you address the clear racial disparities around prosecution and conviction. So a lot of people are going to be pardoned on pot possession charges, not dealers, not distributors, not just people that enjoyed it and enjoyed it at the wrong time or with the wrong people or whatever it was. He's not going to be letting out hardened criminals or anything like that. Somebody did check this out. It was really there. It's probably been taken down by now, but this was in Phoenix Craigslist. Actors needed for Phoenix Convention Center from 2 to 11. So accuse the other side of that which you are doing. And there's always an awful lot of talk about paid protesters. Just saying. Now, I know some of you are going to be going, these are all lies. Everything about Trump's a lie. It's all, but what if it's not? What if it's not? What if none of these things have been a lie and you've been conned by the greatest con man in the world? It's just something to think about, okay? It's just something to think about. Let me get back down here. Because this is going to lead us, actually, I'm going to save that for just a couple of seconds here because I want to come back to that because it's going to lead us to another story. I want to show this. This is another reason to consider when contemplating would Russia really use nuclear weapons. What you're seeing here, you're going to see a tank come around the corner here. Remarkable footage of a Russian BMP. And I know if you're a military guy, there are different kinds of things, and just generally calling it a tank, I'm doing that because I'm not a technical guy when it comes to different military equipment. And you don't talk like you are if you're not, or Mike. That's how I feel anyway. Anyway, this is being surrendered to the Ukrainians, this Russian, and you can see it's got a white flag on the front and a guy sticking at the top. And this is obviously being filmed from the Ukrainian point of view. And the guy up here says, one of the most interesting things is that the surrender seems arranged. The Russians look likely to have negotiated this surrender. It was arranged, and they are being arranged. Ukraine has set up a hotline where Russian soldiers, we've played on here where they've intercepted their cell phone calls. They've set up a hotline where Russian soldiers can call in and arrange a time and location for a surrender. Russia is aware of this, and Russia is saying, when these soldiers come back to Russia, they're going to face a 10-year prison sentence for what they're doing. And they're not going back to Russia, okay? They gave up, that's $750,000 to a $1 million piece of equipment there. And the rest of it just shows them searching them and taking them prisoner, which is there's the accuse the other side of that which you are guilty. That's from Propaganda 101. That's how from Reich Minister Joseph Goebbels. Let me get back up here to. Okay, we're going to pass that. Taiwanese Ministry of National Defense announced that they will now seek any violation of their airspace by the Chinese military as first strike and warrant them with a counterstrike. China has been rather standoffish to Russia as of late, and even going so far as denouncing Russia annexing the territories of Ukraine that they did. Here's a little lighter thing. Most common restaurant cuisines in each state. Pub food in Oregon and most of the upper Midwest. Pizza in the Midwest and Massachusetts and Vermont. And of course it disappears. And fast food. Fast food was the dominant in the South. We're going to skip right by that real fast here. Fast food and Italian in New York and in Jersey. Mexican in the West and Asian in Alaska and Washington State and Hawaiian food in Hawaii. Vice President Kamala Harris was in a car accident, and this has made news because it was on a street that was cleared of all traffic, and the driver of the vehicle is someone who's supposed to be trained to do these things, and he hit a curb and busted the tire in the wheel. Now, it became an issue because Secret Service reported it first and reported it as a mechanical failure instead of a guy hitting a curb. Okay, this is some graphic video, incredibly graphic language, and I'm not going to play the language. I'm not going to play the audio. I'm just going to show you what happened. This was in Tulsa at the Oklahoma State. Hold on a second. This was in Tulsa at the Oklahoma State Fair. And these are cops that have taken a young white guy down. Now, the black cop puts his knee on the white kid's neck. I'm just calling it what it is. It's bad regardless. It's not about skin pigment. It's about police tactics. The kid doesn't die. The kid goes unconscious from lack of oxygen. And again, it's just something to think about. I'm going to save that for next time. So I got to go back up. Again, thank you all for watching. Hang in there. We're going to have Proud Army Girlfriend coming up in just a few minutes, and who knows who else is going to be on here. I really don't have anybody particularly scheduled, and actually, as long as I've been going on this, it may just be Proud Army Girlfriend. Where is it? Here we go. Scott McFarland reported per plea agreement submitted today in seditious conspiracy case of Jeremy Bertino ahead of the January 6th. The Proud Boys, quote, increasingly viewed police as the enemy, end quote, and referred to police as Cop Tifa. I don't know. We played the video from the other night where the police officer was telling the Proud Boys to just basically stay in your cars when we're out arresting people so you don't get mistakenly arrested. And again, it's going to take us into another quick share here, because this I find really rather troubling. This is Yahoo News. Let me play the headline first and then I'll come back up. Facebook continues to auto-generate pages for Proud Boys and other extremist groups. Now, no matter what side of anything you're on, you got to be questioning why is Facebook doing this? Because Facebook has rules about things that you can and cannot say and post. And I don't know. Again, I just find this very troubling. I'm going to try to do this without a copyright. Hope the music isn't copywritten. So what's really going on? It's something to think about. No, like I said, no matter what side you're on, you have to question this, because you have to realize that even if you're a Proud Boy watching this and you're going, yeah, they're auto-generate. Well, are they not auto-generating for somebody that you may not want auto-generated for? And if you're not a Proud Boy, you're probably sitting there going, what's going on? What's going on? I'm going to try to talk to some people that know more than I do. I always try to do that, and see if we can find out. Is this for real? It's in Yahoo News. It's from Associated Press. Is this really happening? And how much of the algorithms and how much of the social media not channels, but sites, how much influence do they actually have? Because it sure seems like they are messing. They're messing. They're messing with stuff. Millions of people were psych profiled on Facebook and manipulated into being radicalized. MSM, well-known liar platform. Okay. I'm going to bring up Proud Army Girlfriend here. Again, we are on StreamYard. I'm normally not on StreamYard, and we're trying it. I was on it for a few months, and copy that and put this over here. Hey, Knuckles. Yeah, don't read the chats. I'm sure there's drama going on in the chats. There's always drama going on in all the chats. And yeah, so yeah, if you don't want drama, don't read the chats. And it's okay to stay out of the chats. But a lot of people do enjoy getting in there and chat. Try to stay Hello, Rayo. Just a common Joe. My gosh, there's a lot of people in here. Nothing to see here, doofus. Okay, Jameson, you guys go ahead. Okay, there's the link. Proud Army Girlfriend. If you are still in here, hop on there. Hello, Jeff Mindbender, Kalani Das Scammer, Kalani Das Scammer, BTM Sparky. Okay, all you gotta do is click on it. Proud Army Girlfriend. It should be all you have to do. And you should pop into what's known as the green room. What do you say, Hellraiser? Al Munson. There you go. You do have it. All right. No, we don't want a banner. How do we, there we go. There you are. Okay. I'm going, hang on for a second because I'm going to see if I can share. Hi. Thank you for coming on here. I'm going to see if I can first. Just relax. Are we seeing this? Let's see. We're all on here. All right, cool. All right. I wanted to make sure that worked. I see it. We're going to start out. I played this video a couple of weeks ago. Actually, it was shortly after it happened, and it's worth seeing again. And for those that haven't seen it,
what's going on, boss? What's going on?
I'm on the phone with the VA hotline.
Okay.
For suicide.
All right. Hey, I got you, man. All right. What branch you in?
Army.
Army? All right. Hey, my name's Kyle. All right. We'll help you out. All right, bud? I'm here with you. I'm here with you. All right. I'm gonna start an ambulance over here to us. Okay? All right, bud?
I can afford.
Hey, no. Hey, if I send you, it's nothing on you. Okay? State of Connecticut covers that.
Ah, crap. Okay, hold on. I forgot about that. It resets on me. Let me go back up here. Here we go.
All right, bud? I'm here with you.
That's why it's called the American Doofus Show and not the American Technical Wizard Show.
I'm here with you, all right? I'm gonna start an ambulance over here to us, okay? All right, bud?
I can afford.
Hey, no. Hey, if I send you, it's nothing on you, okay? State of Connecticut covers that. All right? Can we step out of the car, boss? Just so we can talk? 826. Yeah, come in the front of your truck, bud.
820.
Starting an ambulance to 68 off-ramp eastbound. I'm with a vet who's on the suicide hotline.
Here's my ID.
Sorry, man. Hey. You have anything on you?
No.
Okay, is that right? Check in? Cool. Any deployments, bud? One? Well, hey, dude. It's a tough time for everyone in your position, all right? Relax, though. Hey, I'm here with you, okay? Here. Yeah.
Guy just wanted a hug. Okay, I'm gonna try to show one more thing here. If I can, there we go. Okay, I can do it. And then we're gonna talk for a couple minutes. Proud Army Girlfriend. You've put this out. I would like a public apology for the stunt Justin Johnson pulled with the Veteran Suicide Hotline, and I'll leave it up here for just a second so that everybody can read it. And basically, the fact that 22 veterans a day on average commit suicide because of things that we as people that have never experienced what they've experienced, we can't imagine what they've gone through. Many of them, and they don't want to let it out, and sometimes 22 times a day on average, they take their own life. And you, Proud Army Girlfriend, just kind of wanted to come on and talk about this a little bit. Hello?
Well, it touched
Oh,
home
I'm
with
sorry.
me because
There we go.
obviously by my name, my hello?
Yeah, I got you.
Oh,
You're sounding good. Everything's coming. There's just a slight delay, but
oh, there we go.
but everything's good.
Okay.
Go ahead. Your boyfriend is an Army guy, obviously.
All right. Well, by my name, you can see that my boyfriend is Army. And he has been there for 30 years now. He's got 30 years left till he retires. He was just in the past couple of months
Wait a minute.
diagnosed
Hold
with
on. He's got.
PTSD.
Hold on. He's been in for 30
So-
years. He's been in for 30 years.
This
And
just hits home.
He's been in for 30 years, and he's got 30 more years.
Yes.
He's going to serve 60 years.
No.
Okay.
He went in straight out of high school.
Okay. All right. Okay.
No,
All
not
right.
60 years.
All right. Okay. All right. He's going to serve till he's 60.
But he was diagnosed with PTSD.
Wow. And they're still letting him serve?
And he was just recently diagnosed. It's not majorly severe. They've caught it in time.
Okay. All right. So you want an apology from the guy responsible for all this?
Absolutely. He should not have done that. That's not a number that you use to have people call from your little protest and clog up the lines. That phone number is for something more serious than his protest.
Right. Absolutely. A suicide hotline? Yes, absolutely more serious than the protest. And plus, let's just get the facts out here. The VA, the Veterans Administration, has absolutely no jurisdiction or can have any jurisdiction within the federal penal system, because once you are incarcerated, your
lose all that.
your health care is the responsibility of the institution that's incarcerating you. The VA cannot have any influence or impact on that. All right. So what he says he was trying to do, I don't know if he knew it or not, that it was, it just makes it look that much worse to me.
Okay, my boyfriend's name is Justin.
Okay.
So I'm going to address the other Justin as Astwat. That's what I've been calling him.
Okay.
Astwat claims to be a vet, so he should know what that line was for. More power to him that he posted the phone number, but not for the purpose that he posted it for. I don't care if one person from their live stream called. Like I said in my little flyer thing, that's one line that was tied up that could have prevented somebody from calling in. But we all know how that 1776 people work, all their little minions, they'll get a bunch of them calling up and clogging up those lines.
Okay.
It should not have been done. And he owes everybody an apology. I want an apology. He did wrong. He needs to fess up. And then that night, he goes to the J6 vigil thing and makes light of it and jokes about it. He's a vet. He should know better. Or he claims to be a vet anyway.
Right. Okay.
Shame on him, and shame on Santa for not speaking up and saying, you know, something along the lines of, well, yeah, I know Justin messed up. You should have done that. Nobody has said anything that I have heard.
Okay.
I've not heard an apology about it for anything to anyone.
Okay. And we've shown your flyer, and you're wanting people to spread the flyer, correct?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, is it available on Twitter? Where can people find the flyer?
Just Twitter. I don't have
Just Twitter?
I don't have a YouTube. I'm not doing anything to be famous. I never planned on getting involved with all this. I just got on here and I watched Lori and Aunt and everybody and, you know, all that stuff. And I never planned on getting involved until Justin did this. That's what touched home to me.
That was my final question was, how long have you been watching all this? So you got involved basically around the Washington Mall when
Well, no, I started watching way back at the very beginning. I used to watch.
Okay.
Yeah. I used to watch Taco Joe. Don't pull a Taco Joe, but so he's the one that, you know, got me watching it from, you know, the People's Convoy, and then it went on to this other stuff, and now it's on to, you know, it's just a big soap opera, new seasons, and I got a kick out of watching it. Had my fun. I make my stupid little cut and copy meme things to have fun, joke around, and then Justin pulled this, and I cried. And that video makes me cry. I can't even watch that video.
I have trouble watching it too.
When Justin did that, I had tears rolling down my face because I was thinking about all the people who could be wanting to get help. And he's got his people, or the people, watching their live stream, clogging up their lines. That's what they do. Call the police, clog their phones, call the, you know, whatever, phone lines, whatever they're having problems with. All they do is tell their people to call and clog up all the different phone lines. And that's what he did with this. And whether it's the police that they had this done to, had them call the police that way, or call this, they're using up resources that other people could be needing help with.
I agree.
It's stupid.
I agree with that too.
And God forbid if my boyfriend was home and he needed to call that line, and that one person that he had call was on the line that my boyfriend was trying to get through to, and anything happened to him, my fat poor ass would be going down to Washington. I just think that he owes everybody an apology for what he did.
Okay.
Fess up. Be a man. Be a man, Justin. Come on, you're a vet. You're a grown man. Fess up. You fucked up. You messed up.
Your flyer is available on Twitter.
Yep.
Proud Army Girlfriend, correct? Your
Yep.
Twitter handle as well?
Yes.
Okay. All right. You talk about them, you know, clogging up the phone lines and everything, and justifiably so. Do you think this is over? Do you think 1776 is done as a viable entity, and
I don't think it's done. I think it's a joke. there's not much to it, but I don't think it's done. Santa's going to drag this out and take it to different states and try to pull in whatever he can. But I don't think it's going to amount to much, because I think most of the people think it's just a big joke. It's just a way to make money.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think most people have figured that out, and that if it was going to get any national exposure, I would think that that would have happened in the month that they were at the mall, and after getting off of the mall, you're not going to get a lot of exposure behind a fence in a parking lot, and it seems like they're kind of separating, disbanding.
Oh yeah,
Slowly but surely.
hell, Screaming Steve even went home.
Yeah, actually, actually, after we get done here, I'm going to show one more slide. Lazy Gamer from today.
Yes.
To kind of wrap things up. So, all right, thank you for coming on here, and
Thank you for having me.
and we'll have you back on here again soon.
All right.
All right.
Thanks.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Bye bye.
Bye.
And all right, I'm going to bring this guy up. Jeff, what's going on?
Hey, Doofus. I needed to clarify some remarks that were made in the chat room about veterans.
How did I kind of thought that's what you might be doing. I haven't been watching the chat at all, so
I have been. First of all, Justin is not a vet. He's not in the DoD website. He's nothing but an imposter.
okay. I think
Second.
I think that, yeah, I remember hearing that somewhere, and it might have been you. You brought that out. Second, go ahead.
Veterans are active duty can still remain active duty with PTSD in its early stages. They get reassigned to desk jobs while they go through psych evals.
And
They do
just
not
basic
get kicked out.
and basically get assigned to what
They
are
become
normally
mental-
non-combat.
Yes. And while they're doing that
regions.
non-combat position, they are getting treatment.
Okay. Was somebody saying that wasn't the case? I'm assuming.
Yes. Somebody
Okay.
said that veterans or active duty with PTSD get medically discharged. No, they do not. The government
Okay.
spends
Well-
$10,000 plus to get you trained. They're just not going to kick you out. They're going to reassign you and get you medical treatment.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, the veterans on the outside are the ones that are struggling more than anything else,
Right.
because they're having to fight the VA that's taking their sweet ass time getting these veterans processed into the system. And once they do get in the system, then they take their sweet ass time getting them in to see psychiatrists, counselors, and everything else.
And we haven't spent the funds to hire the additional counselors and psychiatrists and everything else in order to speed up the process, and we need to be looking at those things.
Oh,
And-
no, they'd rather spend money sending it to other countries, because according to our government, whether you're active duty or not, you're expendable.
Yeah, I think they kind of look at all of us as nothing more than a vote. Where
Well, the biggest problem is the VA would rather see you not file than to see you file for one reason
oh
only.
yeah,
That way they don't have to spend any money.
right. Make things as difficult as possible
And they
so that
do.
people will get tired of messing with it and give up.
They do.
Yeah.
I've helped veterans that's taken years to get put into the VA system, because the VA has fought it every single step of the way.
And I'm not surprised at all. I do want hold on a second, because I do want to mention something. Proud Army Girlfriend is not a YouTuber. She's not a live streamer. She normally is on a computer without a microphone or a camera, and all of this was new. We talked about it. She was incredibly nervous, so Just keep all that in mind when you're questioning everything Proud Army Girlfriend said, because you know, hey, this is a big time show, and you get on here and sometimes you get nervous. All right, Jeff. Anything else, my man?
Well, Racina touched on a good point. Not all VA centers are the same. Some are actually good about helping veterans. Some are obsolete about helping veterans.
I'll bet that's very true. Yeah.
Well, it is.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Because I was going to the VA center in Denver. I switched over to the VA center in Cheyenne and got better treatment.
Does every state have a VA center?
Yes.
Okay. There's at least one in every state. Some states have multiple.
There is a VA hospital in every single state.
Okay. All right.
And now they got regional offices located throughout different states that you have to deal with. They might not be in the same state you're in, but they're there.
Okay.
But a lot of people are under misconception. A lot of people don't understand veterans, and they never will.
Because veterans don't like to talk about what they've been through.
It's not even that.
Okay.
It's not even that. In order to understand a veteran, you got to be a veteran. Because there's some things they say that needs no explanation. Whereas a civilian person would want the explanation, another veteran would already know the answer without the explanation. So it's easier to talk to them.
And plus, I imagine it's, I mean, of course, it's much more dangerous, much more deadly than playing sports. But I imagine you get that locker room-ish camaraderie with the people you serve with, and then when you're out and you don't have those connections, it makes it tough to talk to people that don't understand what it means to be a veteran.
Well, being a veteran is like being a cop. You become a big family. You're watching each other's back. Because every time you go out on deployment, you're watching each other's back like a family. Just like every officer who goes out on a call is watching his partner's back. It becomes a family. And then when you walk away from that family and you don't have that family environment that you're used to, depending on how long you serve, you feel completely lost in the civilian world because you're so used to how it is in the military world. Because in the military world, everything is by the book. There is no gray lines. There is no, well, maybe if this changed a little bit. No, it's clear cut what you do in the military. And it's that way day in and day out. The entire time you serve, nothing changes. But when you get out to the civilian world, it's a whole different thing. There's so many gray areas in the civilian world that as a veteran, you don't know where you stand. Because you're so used to it being a fine line.
Okay.
And to your question, Racine, I was in the United States Navy. I was a bosun's mate. Afghanistan, I served 16 years. When it comes to the military, yeah, I know what I'm talking about, and I help veterans get their benefits that they're deserving when they get out. Because the military doesn't tell them that. They tell them, thank you for your service, have a nice life. They don't say, oh, by the way, go to the VA center and you can get benefits for what happened to you while you were in the service. They fail to tell people that when they get out. Because all we are is just a number to them. We sign a blank check the day we sign that contract, up to and including our life.
Every time you re-up.
Every time we re-enlist, we sign that blank check. I did it 4 times for a total of 16 years. And you know what my mom would have gotten had I died while I was serving? A damn flag. That's it. The flag that flew over my coffin.
Mm-hmm.
That's what my mom would have gotten. For me, putting my life on the line for your freedom, for you to run your mouth like you do. my mom would have gotten a flag. Nothing else.
Well, Jeff, thank you
I
for.
believed in fighting for this country and the Constitution. And if you can't get off the couch and go out and do that on your own, don't bitch.
Well, thank you for your service, Jeff.
I just wanted to
On
clear
behalf
some
of all
things
of
up
us.
there, Doofus, because when people start cutting down on the military, that
Yeah.
that don't happen.
The military, you know, support for the military shouldn't be political. Support for the military should be about honor and understanding sacrifice, in my opinion. But all right, man, thank you for coming on here.
Yeah, have a good one, Doofus.
All right, we'll see you next time. And I want to pop up, as I said, I want to pop up and discuss just for a second, just a lazy gamer from earlier today. Now, he's probably had posts since, but I wanted just to bring these up. Dank Brandon was trending earlier. Picture of Joe Biden all gangstered out with a big marijuana cigarette in his mouth. Screaming Steve has left. And we talked about Jeremy Bertino. One thing I didn't mention about the Jeremy Bertino thing is now that he's pleaded guilty, he probably had a guilty plea. He probably had a deal that required him to tell on his friends, and pleading guilty to sedition is going to make it awfully hard for the people he's currently naming to say that they weren't part of a sedition as well. I wanted to talk about this real quick too. The poll worker data, some of it has been stored in China. That's the accusation. There's an arrest made because of it. And finally, Health and Human Services purchases Nplate, and that's for use in radiological and nuclear emergencies. They spent $290 million on that, and believe me, that's not for us. That's not. that's for continuation of government. Anyway, so what have we been on here? A little over an hour. Yeah, been on a little over an hour. Hello, everybody in chat. I'm over here now. Taurus 76 Rising, Oomph, Canadian Carl, Lori Arnold, American Doofus, can I come on? Yeah, Lori, I'll have you on here for a couple of moments. Here, let me drop the link again. How do I do this? Hold on. And there we go, Lori. Hop up here for a second. Because I didn't see it. But I was told that that there was a video last night with you and Red Squirrel. And hi, Cunning Stunt, Max Smith, L. Smith. Who am I missing here? Shizzle. Here we go. Hi, Lori.
Hi, Doofus.
How are you?
I'm doing great.
Are you? Okay, you're. I see that we got no video. Nothing wrong with that.
Am I coming in okay?
You're coming in great.
Good.
Yeah. The audio on this software is so much better than it was on the other software. So, what's going on? What do you want to talk about?
Well, I want to thank Proud Army Girlfriend. She did a good job, and I think that's something that pissed off a lot of people was the vet stunt.
I think it did too. Yeah, and and rightly so.
Yeah. But I just kind of wanted to address something that's been going around here for a while.
Okay.
And it's about a situation that happened in Tennessee. And there was a gun that was shot off, and it was shot off by a man. And people keep going around and saying that there was a boy. There was a boy there, a 17-year-old boy, but that he shot a gun off and that he's in jail. And Freedom Ninja's been telling people to send him commissary and stuff. This boy was not arrested. He did not shoot a gun. It was his father who was bailed out. I know how much his bail was. I saw him get arrested in handcuffs and taken away. I talked to the sheriff. I went down to the jail that night. Well, it was in the morning, but early morning. But and one of his relatives came and actually was there to get him when he got out. I talked to his wife. I still can text them. So I just want to make that very clear, because that's something that keeps getting put out there and it's not true. And they just they're doxing this young man, putting his name out there. It's not right. He's a 17-year-old boy. Leave him alone.
Okay. All right. And
save your commissary money, because he's not in jail, but he likes pizza.
and
Pizza Plus. They love Pizza Plus.
I saw a video with Vinny in it, and the kids that were in that video said that they watched Defender of Ants and a couple of other streams.
Here's the deal. I was at the neighbors, and I was talking with the kids and the grandpa and all that, and they were showing me, I'm trying to think which kind of nut it was. They are chestnuts. And he was showing me on their property where they have chestnut trees, and we were collecting them. And that girl came over, and about the time I was going to get the pizza, I went and picked it up. And when I came back, she was in their yard with the grandfather and the kids. So I went ahead and let her have some pizza. Okay.
Okay. But I was talking about the video where you had the rabbit out, and the kids were all sitting around, and I thought I remember one of the kids saying that he subscribed to Defender of Ants.
Yeah, the girl from the bus people's daughter that was over there, she knows.
Okay.
They're from the People's Convoy, so they knew
Defender of Ants and everybody from the convoy. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. I just,
she knew me too, but she probably just didn't remember me.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think you can probably confirm that Proud Army Girlfriend getting up here for the first time, it can be a little nerve-wracking.
Absolutely, especially with so many hateful people sometimes in chats and stuff. So she did a good job.
All right. Okay.
Have you seen any of her designs or anything?
No, I haven't.
You have to check them out. She's got excellent t-shirts. She even has really good designs that she puts on for trophies.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yep.
All right.
Have a good one.
All right. Thank you for coming on, Lori Arnold. Be safe.
Love ya.
Love you. Bye-bye. Oh, you never know what's going to happen on Late Night America. What about Red Squirrel? Okay. Revenue stream. Actually, I'll show you. I make about $35 a month. I don't doing this. It's gotten to the point because of the content I don't get ads. And, it's gotten to the point I can't even pay my internet. So, no, I'm not doing this for a revenue stream at all. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to get out of here, and I'll be back tomorrow night, midnight again. If you want to come on, send me an email, and we'll get it set up. And I thank you all for watching. Thank you all for clicking on. Again, Telescope's going to be on next week, and we got some interesting stuff to talk about. And then hopefully we have a peaceful day tomorrow. Don't forget, fill up your gas tanks, because prices are going to go up. I love y'all. Peace.